I'm watching every MCU movie in chronological order until Avengers Doomsday is released, and this week I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Showtime, a-holes!
So Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a great sequel to an S-tier movie. Now, they did a lot of things right, but there's one thing that they attempted to do which had me rolling my eyes. But first, getting into it, let's talk about what I did like. I'm gonna say Kurt Russell was probably my favorite piece of this movie. I think that his performance was great. And you can't really help but think like he's a cool dude. Looks rugged, pause. He's charismatic, especially towards Peter. He wants to, have another chance at being a dad to him for missing out on all these years. And you could tell that that's what Peter's been wanting too. There's a great scene where Peter and Gamora are speaking about a time when he got drunk, and he was saying that when he was a kid, his dad was David Hasselhoff, and that he was out filming a show called Knight Rider. Gamora likes that story. Peter's kind of embarrassed by it, but it really opens up, how he's feeling and how he viewed his dad or wanted to view his dad as somebody cool. And other people could be like, oh, that guy, he's awesome. He wanted that. And Gamora's kind of looking at this initially as a chance for him to get that finally. Things don't necessarily play out that way. But Kurt Russell does a good job in kind of masking that. It was written well to where his character, you like him initially, but things start unfolding to where you realize he's a villain. And I can't help but talk about Baby Groot. Baby Groot had to be one of the best parts of this movie. I might get some flack for this. I think he's better than OG Groot. And I'm talking a little bit premature here. I think he's the best version of Groot. He's cute, he's deadly, he's stupid, but like in an adorable way. Now let me get into some things I didn't like about this movie. The main thing is gonna be the comedy. You just can't force comedy on people. You can't make me think something's funny when it's not. And some things are just overplayed in this movie. For one, I thought the taser face bit wasn't that funny.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I didn't chuckle at it. For what it's worth, yeah, it's a Marvel movie, it's superheroes and stuff like that, but that just didn't land for me. When Drax is asking Ego about his dick and, how did he make a baby? To me, that was kind of just like, okay. It could have been a little bit more serious for me. I get it. It was kind of like out of left field, but it just wasn't for me. A part where they got comedy right for me was when Drax is not wearing his spacesuit in the beginning sequence, and they're asking him why, and he goes, "It hurts my nipples." That's funny because I could see that actually being a reason why someone doesn't want to wear a certain piece of, armor or clothing. It's uncomfortable. That's funny. That's almost relatable. Asking somebody about their dick is kind of, the fuck are we doing here? Overall, I just think that there was pieces of the comedic side that were just a little too forced for me. So one thing that I do need to mention too is I didn't appreciate Drax's character, this iteration of him. I feel like he became a lot more imbecilic, if I'm going to use a big word, right? Overall, I feel like this is a bad direction for Drax. I don't feel like they gave him his due credit. I think that he's a great character, but they just kind of made him less intelligent. I didn't really appreciate that for his character. A character that I felt like they got wrong in this movie as well was Rocket. I feel like Rocket kind of did unnecessary risks that I don't think he would normally do. I mean, he has his certain bits where he likes to take things that he doesn't necessarily need from people. But as far as stealing those batteries in the beginning of the movie, I felt like that was a dumb way to just introduce, another quote unquote roadblock. Rocket stole from them first, so I don't necessarily look at them as villains. They paid them to do a job, and Rocket fucked up that relationship. So, I just feel like that was really dumb. Now, the main issue that I have with this movie, all right? And I know I'm probably in the minority here.
He may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy.
I don't get why they try to force the Yondu-Peter relationship as more of a father-son thing in this. I didn't get that before. I get that he let Peter slide a few times, probably more than others, but not necessarily that he was his son. I didn't get that, and I don't like that they try to force that. I didn't know that Yondu was removed from the Ravengers. Maybe I missed that in the first movie, but I didn't get that. And so when you have that piece put together in this movie, it feels like a redemption arc, but it's not really built up correctly for me. I didn't really give a shit that he wasn't in the Ravengers and, you know, that it bothered him that much. I didn't see it that way. And when Stallone's character is telling him, we don't deal with children, you know, I don't care. I really don't care. Look, I'm not saying that that's not a bad thing. All right, let me just clear that up. That's a terrible thing to do, but it doesn't feel like the gut check that it's supposed to be. Out of all the things they do in this movie, it kind of feels insignificant. This is crazy to be saying, but I'm being honest here. Am I crazy for feeling like that wasn't earned? When Yondu tells Peter, look, he might have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy, I just didn't see how I should care. I just felt like that was a little too forced for me. I didn't think they had a relationship like that. And initially I felt like, you know, Yondu wasn't even gonna go save Peter. That was more of Rocket's idea. So I don't see it, man. I just think that was one thing that blemishes this movie for me, was they were trying to force that feeling of like, oh no, Yondu. You know, I don't know, man. That shit just didn't feel right with me. But overall, it was a great movie. I can't take too much away from it. You know, I'm probably nitpicking here, but you know, just the comedy side didn't work for me, and the Yondu shit didn't work for me. But overall, I did like the movie. I think that the villain was great. I think the new characters, considering, you know, Nebula's from the old movie, but she's now on the Guardian side, I like her addition. Mantis, she's a pretty cool addition. Not the most, you know, useful, at least in my opinion. I understand she played a somewhat big role in stopping Ego, but she just wasn't necessarily like, oh, she's a big three of the Guardians. It doesn't feel that way. But what do I rank Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Go ahead and say this is a B tier movie. It was good. It was a good follow-up, but I don't necessarily think it was the greatest. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video, and if you want more Marvel reviews like this one, subscribe to the channel. And hey, what do you guys think of Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Where do you rank it amongst the other Guardians movies? I think Guardians 1 is probably going to always be my favorite, but hey, you guys let me know in the comments. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.